Complimenting a guy is one of the quickest ways to his heart, but it's not always easy. The truth is that most men rarely receive compliments, so when they do, they tend to brush them off or change the subject. But there's a simple way around that, as long as you follow my advice on how and when to compliment him. Hi, I'm Emily Baker from LoveLearnings. As a woman's dating coach, I offer unique insight into male psychology and how you can use it to your advantage. The truth is that modern dating can be a nightmare, so if you could use a little extra help, please subscribe to my channel so I can keep making videos like this one. First off, let's talk about why it's important to compliment men. And it's not just about how you can benefit from it, although of course that is important. The truth is that men just aren't used to being complimented in their daily lives. The reasons behind this are complicated. Some say that men are more valued for their actions, and women are more valued for their appearance. Some say that while women will compliment the women in their lives, men do not do the same. I think this is all tied up in the idea that men have to be self-sufficient from a young age, and are discouraged from being open about their emotions. Whatever the true reason, it's pretty common for a guy to go months, or even years, without ever receiving a compliment. If you can break this trend, then you're not only going to make him feel good, you're going to show him that you bring positivity into his life, and he's going to want you around more and more. He will be thrilled to be recognized as an attractive, competent, and exceptional individual, and he'll appreciate it all the more because it will be unexpected. This will in turn cause him to gain confidence, and he'll be more likely to be kind and caring towards you, since you've shown him that you appreciate his good qualities. Win-win, right? But how do we go about giving guys compliments in a way that will make them feel empowered, but never patronized? Well, it's easier than you think. You just need to follow these 9 rules to successfully compliment a guy. Number 1, always be honest. Compliments only work if they're true. People are quick to sniff out disingenuous compliments, and if they get the sense that you're not being honest, then you'll destroy any trust you may have built. And more than that, lying is always going to create problems. Think of it this way. If he smells bad, then telling him he actually smells good is a great way to guarantee that he never changes or improves himself. If he's 5'4", then telling him he's a giant is just going to ring false, and he'll never trust your compliments in the future. And if you talk about how connected you feel to him while you two are going through a rough patch, then you're just asking for confusion and hurt feelings across the board. So don't stretch the truth looking for a compliment. Instead, look deeper to find those things that are truly worthy of praise. Number 2, don't go with the first thing you notice. This is something that I think many people don't realize. Compliments have the most power when they're unexpected. This is why you need to dig deeper and look for things that many people would never notice if you want him to really feel your compliment. So ignore your first instincts when it comes to complimenting a guy. If he has incredible blue eyes, then chances are he's used to that compliment, and it's not going to have as much weight as if you complimented something else about him. If he has six-pack abs, then I can almost guarantee that you won't be the first person to tell him how good he looks without a shirt on. You see what I'm getting at here? If you want to make him feel good, then you need to dig deeper and notice assets that no one's noticed before. Of course, it's okay to be honest and shallow at times, but if you want to go the extra mile, this isn't going to cut it. Number 3, don't overdo it. Compliments have more power the less you use them. So while this video may empower you to compliment more frequently and effectively, don't start complimenting him 10 times a day out of the blue. It's an issue of scarcity. The less frequently you compliment someone, the more valuable the compliment becomes. Think of it like laughter. It feels great when someone laughs at your joke, but if they always laugh, then it's not going to feel like anything. But think of that one person who never even cracks a smile. It feels amazing if you can make them crack up. Compliments are the same way. Keep them infrequent and they'll have more impact. Of course, there's a balance to strike here. No one likes being with someone who withholds their feelings or takes them for granted. Just don't give him multiple compliments a day or it will start to have diminishing returns. Number 4, figure out what he's proud of. The best compliments you can give are on things that he's proud of that no one else recognizes. Of course, this can be difficult as you have to get into his head a little bit. So think about how he sees himself. How does he want others to see him? What is it that brings him pride and joy? What's something he does particularly well? Is he extremely consistent, intelligent, caring? These are the things that go unsaid. The things that attracted you to him in the first place, even if you couldn't necessarily see them. And if you're still struggling to put it into words, take your time and simply observe him for a bit. Eventually, what he's proud of will jump out at you clear as day. Number 5, talk big picture. "I love the way you make me feel" is a great compliment, but there's a simple way it could be improved, by widening it out. Instead of focusing on how he makes you feel, zoom out. Something like, "You bring happiness to any room you're in," or "You inspire the people around you to be the best they can be," just hits harder and will be more memorable than focusing on how much he means to you specifically. Chances are he knows how you feel about him, but he might not realize that he means a lot to many other people as well. Number 6, focus on his appearance. As I've said, men are rarely complimented on their appearance. Instead, men are taught that their value is in their productivity and what they can offer to the world, rather than their looks. And beyond that, men rarely compliment their friends the way that women do. This is what makes physical compliments hit so hard for men. So think of some aspects of how he looks, from his hair to his muscles to a specific body part to how he looks in a t-shirt. Then point it out to him. Even though he may not act like it, he's going to be beaming on the inside. Number 7, don't get discouraged. Many women stop complimenting their men because some guys can't take a compliment. It's very common for a man to brush it off, change the subject, or otherwise shut you down when you try to offer him a sincere piece of flattery, but don't let that discourage you. Many men just don't know how to take compliments, but that doesn't mean that they don't appreciate them. So don't take his silence as a rejection. Chances are he's very flattered but doesn't know how to respond because it's something that rarely happens for him. Number 8, be specific. Telling a guy that he makes you happy is a nice thought, but it doesn't really qualify as a sincere compliment. A good compliment should be about him, not you, and it should point to something specific about him that you want to praise. This isn't difficult, but it requires you to be discerning. And beyond that, be precise with your language so that he knows exactly how you feel. This will not only make the compliment more memorable, but it will also avoid miscommunications and backhanded compliments because you'll tell him exactly what it is you're so happy about, and nothing more. Number 9, understand why men don't get complimented. So we've talked about this a bit, but I wanted to take another angle on it by asking this question. Why don't women compliment men as often as they compliment each other? The truth is that many men will see any sort of compliment as a flirtation or a sign of interest. While this may be your intention in this case, it's important to know how this is going to be perceived so that you don't lead him on or come on too strong. This is why you should be very sparing with your compliments, especially early on. You don't want to come across as the pursuer, as this can be off-putting to many guys who are more comfortable being the ones who are doing the chasing. Just keep this in mind before you shower him with praise early on in the relationship. And compliments are more effective once you've really gotten to know someone. For instance, how can you compliment his character if you don't really know him deep down? At this point, you're only getting to know the part of him that he's willing to share with you. And I wanted to end things here with a little disclaimer. If you're still struggling to find things to compliment him on, then you need to take a long look at your relationship and ask yourself if he's really that great of a guy. If he doesn't treat you right, have any positive qualities, and you struggle to figure out what he has to offer, then that's a sign that this is maybe not someone you should waste your time on. Well, that just about does it for today's video. What's the best compliment you've ever given a guy? I want to read them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and I'll see you next time.